Okay, Saber Freaks. Just thought I'd give you a little update on what's been going on lately. Finally got a bunch of parts in that I was waiting for to finish up a couple of projects. So one of the first projects that I want to kind of highlight what's going on with is my project Omega, which is basically a recycling of a bunch of my Manticore parts. And so what we've got is an Mhs Compatible Hilt section. So what it originally was going to be was this hilt section with the Archon V31 pommel without this extension. So this is an Mhs extension that I got. Unfortunately, because of the orientation of the switch and where the LED module ended up, I wasn't able to keep the whole compact look that I was going for. It's unfortunate. It ends up being aesthetically very close to the way the Manticore looked originally, which I kind of wanted to get away from that a little bit. This section here may end up getting a blackout treatment in order to keep some of that continuity with the black going on that I was kind of looking more for. I did want to keep it a little more Shoto-y length. You know, we get an extra 3/4 overall with this. It's still not 100% complete. I think it may end up with wrap, maybe some more custom paint. We've got the custom AV. I got a cool, just regular standard issue power switch from a computer or something. But I really liked it. It kind of has a neat appear when lit. So we'll go ahead and fire that up. I think it came out cool. I've got an interesting, clearly RGBW in here, hooked to aftermarket soundboard. This was an economy soundboard set up for RGBW. It came out pretty cool. It does have an interesting way that they do clash on. It's basically a flicker. This one does have multiple sound fonts in it and stuff like that. It's kind of a more generic sound font package, but you can see the illuminated button comes up looking real cool. It's set in kind of a cycling mode right now. It does have some cool deflection. I think it's cool. Came out all right. Like I say, we're gonna end up with probably a wrap, maybe a blackout treatment for this section. It's a little too Manticore still in its general appearance. Button came out cool. It came out pretty cool. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Overall, I'm pretty happy. So, next we're going to move on to Project Alpha. Finally got all my pieces for my Archon V31 build. Got this as a stunt over the holiday. Got the holiday deal on it. Clearly, pommel went on Project Omega. This is an aftermarket Mhs compatible pommel here. Some of you are familiar with that, may recognize where that came from. So RGBW in here. We had originally a custom made for this one. Turns out I made a mistake on the custom. Custom couldn't go in. Unfortunately, that one will have to go to another project. So we've got a nice aftermarket Chinese RGBW in here. It's wired a little funny, as you'll probably be able to notice when I fire it up. But other than that, really straightforward Archon. This is the standard Archon blade on there. Through an illuminated. It's a 12 millimeter in there, and I kind of kept the lock nut on there. It didn't come with an AV. It came with a 12 millimeter discarded switch. So it looked a little funny just without the nut. So I left the nut on there, and it gave it kind of a, it ended up being a lot more symmetrical in there. It looks good. So we'll fire that one up. Pretty cool. Clearly, much higher end soundboard in this one. This is a premium soundboard in this one. This one is pretty much equivalent to a diamond. I have it configured in kind of a more generic fashion for this current portion of the build. We may spruce it up later on, add whatever. I got some sound files might throw in there. Really cool soundboard. Came out great. I really like the pulsing effect of the button. I think that's a great feature. I really like the flicker of the blade. We'll go ahead and kick out the light. I think that came out really cool. Not too bad. Project Alpha, current status. Badass. So, and finally, that leaves us, you know, you can ask, okay, well, you clearly took the Manticore apart and did all kinds of stuff with it. What remained of the hilt? Well, I did something a little bit different. I've seen some guys that have made some pretty long hilt setups, and I was very envious of these larger, longer hilts. Not like staff length, but definitely big, long hilts. So I had some other MHS parts laying around, and essentially I had the Manticore hilt section with the obsidian light in it. I got that one with an illuminated AV, the 16mm AV. So I kind of threw everything together, and I call this one the Bastion. She's a big girl. She's definitely a lot of hilt. Some of you may recognize where some of these parts came from, and that's great. I'm not positive this configuration is going to stay this way. Currently, I've got kind of a two-tone aluminum finish going here, and I don't know how much I like the kind of polished with the more matte brushed finish. You know, I really do dig the gold on the pommel. Not clear if they all go together yet, but what I do like about it is the size. The size is intense. This room is too small to really spin this one, but it really has that staff feel. It feels staffy, you know. It feels big, but it's not too big. It's not full staff. So you know, still obsidian light. I got the blue AV, really cool, nice blue 16mm AV. Everybody can recognize the Sunriders. This emitter ends up with the cool windows. I really dig, you know, windows are big in my house. We like the windows. You know, cool flash. So there you go, the Bastion. And there you have it. May the force be with you guys, always.